Shalom. This is the brother Karatazar. I want to go over some things concerning the Purim. Okay. Now, we're in the celebration of Purim right now. In the Hebrew, it will be Ha Yawam Pawar. Okay. The day of Purim. All right. Got three main points I want to go over. First thing is I want to go over the importance of Pawar or Purim. We're going to go into where it is in the scriptures and what you should do when you're celebrating it. Now, a quick note on what you should do when celebrating it. This is how we celebrate it. It's not necessarily something that you have to do or based in the law. It's just a way that we observe it. A recommendation to you if you would like to, follow the way that we do it. And the last but not least is how to calculate it. All right. So let's get into it. The importance of Purim. It's a day when the Most High saved us from our enemies. We gave food and gifts to the poor and needy amongst our people in that celebration. All right, so what one can draw from the celebration of Pawar or Purim is the care for the poor and the needy, those who can't help themselves and have no one to help them, the helpless. When Yasharahla, also known as Israel, had no man to help them, the highest, the Most High, raised up Hadashaah and Mardakay to help Israel by bringing salvation to Israel against their enemies by way of the king. Okay. This in turn represents why we should help the poor, needy, and fatherless. All those who can't help themselves, because the highest, Yahweh, helps us, Yasharahla, who was and is the poor and needy amongst the nations. He saved us when we were poor and needy with no helper or savior in Egypt. He cleansed us and made a covenant with us. Our story of Yasharahla as summed up in Ezekiel 16. So I'm gonna just read some words from Ezekiel 16. You can read it on your own time. And as for thy nativity, but thou wast cast out in the open field, to the loathing of thy person. None I pitied thee to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee. Then washed I thee with water, thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and I anointed thee with oil. Now when I passed by thee and looked upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love. And I spread my skirt over thee, and covered thy nakedness. Yet I swear unto thee, and entered into a covenant with thee, said the Lord God Yahweh, and thou becamest mine. So as you can see, even in our nativity, in our story, we were loathed and nobody looked on us. Nobody cared to help us. Nobody had compassion on us. But the Most High walked past and seen us and washed us, clothed us, anointed us with oil, washed away our blood, fell in love with us, spread his skirt on us, covered our nakedness, and then he entered into a covenant with us and we became his. This is our nativity. So we were once the poor and needy, and the Most High helped us. So it's all a reflection. Okay. So let's read about the Pawar or Purim. Esther chapter 9, verse 17. On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested day, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. But the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 13th day on the 14th thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested and made it a day of feasting and gladness. Now also, I'm gonna go ahead and provide the ceremony that I'm gonna read from, that we created. I'm gonna provide it as a picture on the Instagram page, and I'll put the Instagram page and all of the links in the description bar. Okay. All right. It says, but the Jews, okay, verse 19, therefore the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month of Adar a day of gladness and feasting, a good day, and of sending portions one to another. And Mardakay, or Mordecai, wrote those things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king of Asharis, both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of this month Adar and the 15th day of the same yearly. 22. As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another in gifts to the poor. And I have the poor highlighted. Well, this is how we celebrated this day, these days. And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mardakay had written unto them, because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast that is, was Pawar in the Hebrew, the lot to consume them and to destroy them. All right, so this day, Pawar, the word Pawar means, well, we'll go into it in a second. But Hadashaah, which is Esther, came before the king. He commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows. Verse 26, wherefore they call these days Purim or Pawar, after the name of Pur. Therefore, for all the words of this letter and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained and took upon them, upon their seed, and upon all such as joined themselves unto them, so as it should not fail, that they would keep those days, these 2 days, according to their writing and according to their appointed time every year. So we see here highlighted in the poor, it says that they sent gifts and they sent portions to one another and gifts to the poor, right? Now the poor, when you look this word up, it means the needy and the homeless of the people. It means people who are in need. All right. It's from the Hebrew abayawan. Okay. All right. Now, when you go into the Blue Letter Bible in the Esther 9 and 22, you see the word poor right there. H34 abayawan. Abayawan. All right. The definition for the Strong's is from H14 in the sense of want, especially in feeling, destitute, beggar, needy, poor man. Needy, poor, so-called from the idea of needing. Okay? So it actually means the poor. It doesn't mean just give to the brothers in your congregation or the brothers around you. It means to go out. It means to give to the poor. Actually, people in need. If it's brothers around you that's in need, then you give to them as well. So how do we calculate Pawar? Okay, this is how I came up with the calculation for Pawar. The way that you calculate any of the holy days is you must know the first day of the year, all right, to calculate all of the holy days. Now, holy days, the calendar is based off of the new moon. It's based off of moons, all right, which we'll get into how to calculate the first day in depth in another video. But I just want to deal with the Purim right now, the Pawar. All right. So the first day and month of the year, you must figure out what the first day of the year was. You do this by looking at when the barley started to mature in Israel, and then the next new moon starts the year. According to this site, it was mature on March 16th, and the next new moon was April 4th. So we did it according to last year, right? It matured on March 16th last year. And you could go to the site. Matter of fact, I'll hit it real quick so you can see what it looks like. Okay, this is the site. You can read through it. You know, it tells the people over there in Israel, they went and they looked at the barley, and you can see the barley here, and they were looking for when it was starting to ripe, when it was starting to get mature. You can read through the article on your own time. I'll provide the links in the description bar once again. All right, so once you have the first day and the first month figured out, then you can figure out when Purim is, okay? So according to Esther, book of Esther, 9 and 1 through 17, Purim is on the 14th day of the 12th month, all right? So what you do is you count 12 new moons. All right, we said it was April 4th last year, so we counted 12 new moons from April 4th. On the 12th new moon from April 4th, we added 13 days, and then we came up with February. Well, it should be February 18th. Well, February 17th or 18th. All right. So you have to find out when the barley ripens in Israel. The first new moon after that is the first day of the year. You count 12 new moons, and then you add 14 days. So this is the question that we had for a very long time, years. We didn't know how to keep the Purim. Okay, so we came up with a plan on how we're going to keep it, and we came up with that plan based off of the scriptures. Okay, so like I said, this is a recommendation. It's not something set in stone in law that you have to do it the way that we do it. I mean, there's certain things that you should do based off of the book of Esther or Hadashaah, but this is just the way we keep it, and we decided to put it out, just in case brothers seen it to be, useful for them. All right, so what we do, we prepare a big healthy meal, a feast of lamb and other foods that that we choose. The woman cook it the night before, okay, and then they warm it up the next morning. On the morning of Pawar or Purim, we go out to the homeless of our nation, Yasharahla, so-called Negroes and Native Americans, and we serve them the food and water, all right? We do not force our doctrines on them, and we don't tell them our organization. We just give them the food, and we talk to them, and, if they wish to talk about whatever. But we don't tell them we're the Hebrew Israelites and all this stuff like this unless they ask us. We just go out and give them the food, man. We don't tell them, force doctrines on them and stuff like that. And, if they ask us, we'll tell them, but we keep that stuff to ourselves because, for us, that's not what it's about. It's about helping. It's about us being happy for what the Most High did for us, and it's about us helping the poor, man, of our nation. Okay? So, after that, we go home and we eat our feast, all right? The feast that we eat, it's the same food that we give to the poor. So we don't differentiate the food that we give to the poor and then the food that we eat for ourselves. For example, we don't get us a good, nice, luxury dinner and then, feast, and then we go out and we give them soup. I mean, we did that last year, but we changed it this year. So whatever we eat is what they eat. So if we want to eat good, we have to provide a good food for them. Why do we do it that way? Because it didn't distinguish any food inside of the book of Purim. Inside of the book of Esther. It said that they were happy, they feasted, and they sent portions to each other and to the poor. So it was the same food. All right, and we try to make sure we don't cut corners for the poor. Okay, we try to just how we would treat ourselves, how we would want to eat. We fix them the same food. All right. Okay, so the same food menu that we serve to the homeless and the needy, that's what we eat. After that, if we eat and all that stuff, we have our ceremony to praise Yahweh, all right? To remind ourselves who we are, Yasharahla, okay? And how we're supposed to treat the poor in accordance to our laws. This day to us is a lot about the poor and the homeless and not ourselves. That's what we make the day about. We also watch a movie, like, it's a movie called One Night with the King. It's about Esther. You know, we'll watch that movie or movie and likewise. Another thing, so I know what we do is with the children, we'll find a cartoon. And maybe I'll post a link as well. We'll find a cartoon that they can watch so that they can understand what this day is about. Another big thing is with the holy days is that we explain these days to our children and we let them take part in it because we want them to continue on this what we're laying down from our forefathers. Okay? So it's a big thing that you should let them take part in this stuff. You know, they serve the homeless just as well as the women and the men. Okay? They understand what this day is about just as well as we do. We teach them that. All right? So that they continue it on. You know, when we leave, when the Most High take us and we go to our fathers. All right. So this is the ceremony. I'll just let you see it. Once again, what I said, what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and post this up to our Instagram page. And our Instagram page is, if I'm not mistaken, _Yasharahlian_camp. All right. I'll put it in the I'll put a link to it in the description, and you can get, you can copy the pictures off of there. Okay. Or you could just, let me know in the messages, the comments, and give me an email and I'll email it to you. Okay? All right, so this is the ceremony. We take the ram's horn, we blow it 3 times. All right? The priest lights the menorah and blesses the Most High's name for the menorah or the light, menorah. All right? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Barak, Zah, Manawara. Okay? Then the horn is blown again. The second priest commands the congregation to rise and face the east in Lashwan Kodash, which is Aimadium Wa Panya Hakwadam. Okay? Then we read the Shema. It's Deuteronomy 6:4-12. 12-12. Well, we actually skip around. It's Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We skip to verse 12. We skip to verse 17, and we skip to verse 18. Okay? Next is we say the Shema 3 times. Everybody repeats the Shema 3 times, which is Shema, Yasharahla, Yahweh, Alahaya Noah, Yahweh Echad. Okay, that's repeated 3 times. Next, we do the 10 Commandments. Everyone repeats the 10 Commandments, okay? Which it says, La'ah, Hayaha, Laka, Alahayim, Al-Panya. I'll just read it for you so you can get a understanding of how it's pronounced. Number 2, La'ah, the Aisha, Laka, Pasal, Wala'ah, the Aibadma. Okay. Commandment number 3. La'ah, Nasha, Sham, Yahweh, Alahayim, Lashawah. Commandment number 4. Zakawar, Yawam, Hashabat, Lakwadashwa. Commandment number 5. Kabad Ath, Abayaka, Wa'ath, Amaka. Commandment 6. La'ah Taratazach. Commandment 7. La'ah Tana'ap. Number 8. La'ah Tagana. Number 9, La'ah, the Aina Shekwar. Number 10, La'ah, the Hamad Kal Ashara. La'ah, Ra'aika. Okay. So after we do that, we blow the horn 3 times. Then the Shema is read. Then the Creed is read. Isaiah 33 and 22. For the Lord our God, the Lord is our judge, the Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord is our king, he will save us. That is Yahweh Shapat Noah, Yahweh Machakwak Noah, Yahweh Malak Noah, Hawa'ah, Yahweh Shai Noah. And then we read Deuteronomy 15 and 7 through 8 and number 11, verse 11, concerning the poor of Yasharahla. Key points to make known is, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother. Sufficient for his need. You should give him sufficient for his need. Thou shalt open thine heart wide unto thy brother, thy poor, to the needy in thy land. Matter of fact, I'll read this because this is important. Deuteronomy 15 and 7. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within thy gates in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother, but thou shalt open thy hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he wanted. This is also dealing with the 7-year release of debt, okay, and also with lending and stuff like that concerning the Jubilee. Verse 11, for the poor shall never cease out of the land, therefore I command thee, saying, thou shalt open thine hand wide unto thy brother, to thy poor, and to thy needy in the land. Then we have everybody repeat it in the Hebrew. Well, everybody should repeat this verse in the English and also repeat it in the Hebrew. Kaya Yahweh Baka Abayawan Ma'achad Akhyaka Ba'achad Sha'ar Yaka Ba'ara Tazaka Ashara Yahweh Allahayaka Nathan Laka La'a Da'ama Taza Ath Lababka Wala'a Dakwapataza Ath Yaka Ma'ach Yaka Ha'aba Yawan. All right, that was verse 7. And we read verse 8 in Hebrew. Kaya patach da patach ak yadka lawa wahai abat the aibayat noah daya makasharwa awara yachashar lawa kaya la'a Yachadal Abayawan Makwarab Ha'arataza Ail Khan Anakya what's that? Anakya Matazawaka La'amar Patach Ta Patach At Yadka La'ach Yaka La'ain Yaka Wala'a Ba Yanka Ba'ara Tazaka. All right, so yeah. And then we're going to do these blessings right here. The youngest man says the blessings for the nation of Israel, sends up curses. Well, we don't do the curses and all that stuff, but we do A. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that give us a light. Barak atah Yahweh, ha-ha-wa-ah, Natan la Noah, hata-wa-ra. Okay? It's right under. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the light to see. Barak atah Yahweh, ha-ha-wa-ah, Natan la Noah, awar la ra'ah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the ram horn to call the people. Barakatah, Yahweh, Hahawa'ah, Natan Lanoah, Ha'ah Yala, Quran, La Quara'a, La'aim. So after that, we blow the ram's horn. And then we're going to read in Esther chapter 9, which we already did that. So we're just going to skip to a part of the lesson that I had. So concerning the poor in the law and also this day of Pawar, okay? The king that faithfully judgeth the poor, his throne shall be established forever. Proverbs 29:14. The king that faithfully judgeth the poor, his throne shall be established forever. This goes into why we have laws concerning the poor and taking care of the poor. Because if you take care of the poor, then your kingdom will last forever. But if you don't take care of the poor, you neglect the poor, then your king will fall to ruins. Okay? All right, Leviticus 25:35. And if thy brother be waxing poor and falling in decay with thee, thou shalt relieve him. Yeah, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Deuteronomy 15:7. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within thy gates in the land which the Lord thy God Yahweh giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thy heart nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother. Proverbs 14:31. He that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoreth him hath mercy on the poor. So if you honor the Most High, you have mercy on the poor and the needy, man. This is why we do what we do on the Purim. Proverbs 28:27. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have shall have many a curse. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, okay? But he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse, all right? Proverbs 19:17. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again. All right. So if you have pity on the poor, and you help the poor, when you give that money to the poor and to the needy and to the homeless, it's as if you're lending it to the Most High, and the Most High gonna pay you back. Okay. He's gonna bless you for that. It says alms covers sins as well. Proverbs 14:21. He that despiseth his neighbor sinneth, but he that hath mercy on the poor, happy is he. Proverbs 29:7. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. All right? Meaning that the righteous is going to consider the cause of the poor, man, and what's going on with the poor. Tobit 4:16. Not the wicked. The righteous is going to consider what's going on with the poor. You always think about the poor, man, and the needy and the homeless, and the fatherless. Now, this is Tobit. Tobias is commanding his son Tobit. All right. 4:16. Give of thy bread to the hungry. Give of thy bread to the hungry, and the garments to them that are naked. This is the poor and the homeless. And according to thy abundance, give alms. Meaning according to what you have, you give. And let not thine eye be envious when thou givest alms. And don't be envious, or don't feel some type of way, get angry when you give the alms, or when you help the needy and the homeless. Ezekiel 18:5. But if a man be just and do that which is lawful and right, verse 9, hath walked in my statute and hath kept my judgment to deal truly, he is just, he shall surely live, said the Lord. Verse 16, neither hath oppressed any, hath not withholden the pledge, neither hath spoiled by violence, but had given his bread to the hungry and had covered the naked with a garment, just taking care of the poor and the needy. So that's what I got for the Purim. I just wanted wanted to do a quick sit down to show you brothers how we keep it, just in case brothers are wondering how to keep this day. It's not anything to boast or to brag about. We keep this, we don't tell anybody about it, but I figured it would be edifying for brothers to know, because for a long time, about 10 years, we didn't know, we didn't keep it this way. All right, so with that, we say, Call Halal, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Peace and blessings to you brothers and sisters out there that listen, and to the brothers out there teaching the word. May the Most High bless you. To the brothers out there teaching the word in truth and sincerity. So with that, I'm Karatazar. I say Shalom Akim.